Hello, my name is Hugh Simpson-Wells from Ox Computer Training. I'm here to tell you about our Azure AD Connect video training series. The series comes in the form of 7 courses, each with a number of videos. The videos vary in length, the shortest being about 10 minutes. Most of them are much longer, some of them are well over an hour. To give you an idea about the overall quantity of material, the whole series is based on a classroom training course that we usually deliver in 3 days. So that's 3 lots of 7 hours really. The videos are in the form of presentation and demonstration, with demonstration being a very important part of it. You can subscribe to a single course or several courses or the entire series, of course, and if you do so, you will get access to that material for a year 24/7. through the portal which I'm currently demonstrating. Now, this student has bought all 7 of the courses, and so they're seeing all 7 of them. If you bought one, you'd only see one of the courses, of course. The very first one here is actually what we're showing now, so that's not of any further interest. But you'll see the first real course here is called Foundations, the next one's called Synchronization Concepts, and so on, and there are 7 of them in total. You'll see that most of them come with a corresponding quiz. We consider that quiz to be a very important learning tool, a revision tool. We're not interested in your score really. That's really for you, and we want you to take it as many times as you need to consolidate that knowledge and make sure that you're comfortable with the knowledge. Over on the right here, you'll see your progress for each of the courses. Next to it, your most recent score for any quizzes you've done. My progress shows as 100% simply because this is a demo that I've done lots of times, but of course that wouldn't normally be the case. If I scroll down, the last of them is called Additional Topics. Let's click that and see what we get. Well, after we can decide to start at the beginning or continue where we last left off. I'm going to start at the beginning, and after a sort of splash screen here, we get a little reminder of the tools for navigation in the videos. I'm going to show you that anyway, so we'll skip over that. The first of the videos is a very short video, 1 to 2 minutes, which simply tells you what's coming up. In other words, it's a sort of table of contents in a video form. And you can tell from the graphic perhaps that there are 6 videos in this particular course. When you've seen that, you'll go on to your first real video. So this is the first one, Maintaining Azure AD Connect. The next one is called Logs and Monitoring. The third one is Accidental Deletion, and we'll take a closer look at this one. Bottom right here, you'll see that we can change the volume. We can also change the video quality to compensate for any bandwidth issues, so we can optimize for the bandwidth, in other words. Here you'll see that there are chapter markers. These correspond actually to the ones down here, so 2 different ways of getting to the same thing. That allows you to quickly get to a topic of interest or return to a topic of interest later perhaps. You can also maximize the screen if you need to, or of course put it back to how it was. I'm actually going to turn off the sound, if I can, almost entirely. There we turn off the sound entirely, because I'm going to play it in a moment, and I don't want to hear that coming back at me while I'm trying to talk to you. If I, for example, go to this point here and let it play, you won't hear this, but you shouldn't hear this, but you'll see that I'm making a presentation, and here I am presenting something in PowerPoint, some topic. If I move on to this point here, this is where I'm just starting to do a demonstration. And if we were to jump a little bit further into that, we might see that I'm actually demonstrating the product. Actually, what we're looking at there is Active Directory users' computers, but it'll probably switch to something else shortly. Yeah, there we are, and there is the product just behind. So lots of demonstration typically with these videos, and then when you've seen, and I should say that the videos are really, the demonstrations are really useful to put alongside what you're trying to do. So when you're trying to achieve something in your production environment or your test environment, you might want to run the demonstration alongside it so you get confidence that you're doing the right thing, and rewind and replay and so on as necessary. Eventually you'll go on to the next video and the next one, and finally the last one in this particular, there are 6 in this particular course. Once you've watched all the videos in a course, there is a link here to a PDF with some useful information. This is where we gather together any bits of code, useful links and so on that we might have referred to, particularly in the demonstrations, and you don't want to be scribbling that down, so we make that available in a PDF. Then when you've finished, you might go on to do the quiz. So here I am doing a quiz. I can continue where I left off. It's sometimes called a quiz, sometimes a test, sometimes an exam. But as I've said, it's not really an exam. We're not testing you. I'm going to start a new session though here. I'm not going to continue where I left off. So I give what I think are the right answers. I go to the next question. I give the answer. I go to the next question and so on. When I get to the end, I'll get the feedback for each question, what we think are the right answers, what you answered, and maybe some notes about why we think that's the right answer. And you can try that as many times as you need to until you're comfortable with the material. When you've finished all the courses and all the quizzes, you might want to give us feedback through this form and request a certificate. We issue the certificate on the basis that you've been through the material, including, importantly, we think, the quizzes. We're not interested in what you scored, but we are interested to see that you've made the effort and you've been through it. If you find that you want some of those features normally associated with a classroom course, like access to a tutor one-to-one, or perhaps a lab environment that you could work in rather than using your own environment, we can make those available to you as bolt-on extras. Well, that's about it. That's what our video series looks like. I hope you'll find the series useful.